morning, guys, and welcome to your 9 a.m. kettlebell session. Again, we have two different parts. We have two pieces that are not for time today, so we'll just kind of crank that out at our own pace, and we'll try to keep it together and get into the second part as best as possible. So we are going to get started. Today is pretty heavily uppity, upper body oriented, so we're going to spend a little bit more time in the warm-up on that. So for starters, we're going to start on the floor for some scorpions. You're going to lay on your belly, arms up in a T, and you're just going to reach for opposite hand to opposite arm. So you should feel this kind of across the front of the shoulder or the pec area. Let's go 10 here. Let's kind of take it nice and easy. Don't rush through these. Want to make sure we open those shoulders up. I feel my abs from yesterday, guys. Those reverse crunches. That's not what felt the worst yesterday. Those dang squats were the worst yesterday. My legs feel okay. All right, let's come out of that. We're gonna go into some mountain climber stretching. So nice and slow, and for this, if you can get that forearm to the floor, and let's open up today. Again, we kind of want to focus on the upper body here. Today's question of the day is, if you could switch out Mount Rushmore with celebrities, which celebrities would you choose? And I actually thought about this one this morning. And mind you, there's different Hall of Fames for every genre of thing, actors, singers, athletes, whatever. So I kind of tried to pick a couple different things. So I've got Martin Luther King, Al Pacino, Serena Williams, and Johnny Cash. So I've got an influencer, an athlete, singer, and actor. So if you guys can come up with some people you'd like to see on the side of a mountain, let me know. Let's go one more on each side. All right. And flip it on over for some glute bridge. Although it might not look very glute oriented today, we use our glutes for everything. So squeeze them, get them firing. Perfect, and flip it over again for T-spine rotation. As always, you can either give yourself a big hug or just put the hand behind the head. Let's go 5 on each side. And again, slow these down today, guys. Your shoulders will thank you. You would think because I have been doing these every day, it would get a little better, but I guess you can't reverse 20 years in 2 weeks, right? Mobility takes time. Just like putting a PR on your back squat. Gotta work at it consistently. Oh. All right, and I'm going to turn my body here, and we're going to go with some bird dog. So opposite hand, opposite foot. Push away, squeeze that butt. Let's make sure to raise that arm up nice and high today too. Make sure that shoulder is working. And I got one more on each side here, I think. Awesome. And let's hit up either 5 burpees or 5 inchworms with push-up. Awesome, guys. If you're just hopping on, we're just getting warmed up here. Question of the day is, which celebrities would you put on the side of Mount Rushmore? Perfect. Let's stay in the high plank position. We'll go 10 shoulder taps. And last up is our hollow hold. Just as our glutes, we use our core for everything. We want to keep that core nice and tight. And let's hold it. All right, perfect. Go ahead and relax. So again, as I was saying, we have a 2-part workout once again today. Our first portion is 4 rounds. We've got, goes 10-8, 10-8. So 10 bear crawl walkouts. So for that, you are starting in the bear crawl position. Okay, so your knees are just kind of hovering. You're gonna walk it out until you hit a push-up position, and or if you want to challenge this a bit more, you can go as long out as you can while maintaining tension without just falling to the floor, right? And then you're just going to walk it back into the bear crawl. So 10 there. Then we have 8 kettlebell windmills. This is something that I will be subbing out today. Unfortunately, I don't have my back and my T-spine mobility just doesn't allow for me to do this. But you'll have your kettlebell up overhead, okay? You're gonna reach down, keep that eye on the prize or on your kettlebell, and just use this opposite hand to just kind of guide yourself down that leg and stand it up, okay? I will probably just be doing some oblique work. So I'm just gonna take my kettlebell and going side to side, okay? Perfect. The next one is rack marches once again. We had these yesterday, but today we're just going to hold it up in the rack position. As always, make sure you're pulling up with the core and we don't get laxed on that. Last up is a kneeling halo. You may want to grab something lighter for this. I know if you have one of our kettlebells, they're a little chunky, so once again, either like a water bottle, soup can, whatever you got, but half kneeling halo. So on one knee, and then we're just gonna go 8 around one side, and then you just flip-flop and go 8 the other way, okay? Try to like get around the perimeter of your head and not just up top, so you really wanna make a big circle around yourself. Awesome, I'll give you 30 seconds to figure out what kind of weights you're gonna need. I've got a couple options for myself today. And we will begin. I'll give you a countdown in just a second. Heat's going all the way off today, I think. All right. Okay guys, so 4 rounds, starting with those bear crawl walkouts. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. So this is 1, and then you're going to walk it out again. That's 2, and so on. Yep, shoulders are definitely going to be feeling it today, guys. Awesome. If you're on the kettlebell windmill, make sure to keep pressure up on that bell. Don't let your elbow get loose. And oops, rack marches. As always on rack marches, going 1, 2, and so on, with it racked on your right side, and then switch it on over to your left. Who's flexy? Who can like get their knee to their elbow? That's getting them up pretty high. And bring it around town. This is actually a pretty good warm-up drill to do too. You just grab something light and get those shoulders moving. Perfect, and that is 1 down, guys. Nice job. So keep at it at your own pace here. You just shake the shoulders out real quick before you start again. I can't go out much further after yesterday. Oh, my abs are sore. Nor can I keep count today. I'm like in La La Land. All right. Keep rocking through, guys. We got it. Alright, we're pulling out all the dumbbells today here. Gotta save my shoulders a little bit for part 2 of today here. knee you have up and what direction you go. Just switch, and that way you're just kind of getting some unilateral work in here. Maybe start the same direction each time just so you remember which way to go. Awesome, guys, that's halfway already. Nice work. At the top, make sure your core is tight, make sure you're squeezing those glutes as you walk yourself back to finish that bear crawl position. Bear crawl are like my biggest nemesis, for sure. One of them. I have a lot of nemesis. Nemesis, is that a word? Plural? I'm not sure. Reminds me of Finding Nemo. I live in an anemone. Nemesis. Woo! Does anyone else do like random self-banter to yourselves as you work out? You guys just kind of tune out. When I'm by myself, workouts definitely take a lot longer. Oh, that's 8. All right. Drive those knees, guys, if you're on those marches with me. Perfect. Feels really quiet in here today. I mean, I'm a little out of breath, but I'm not breathing super heavy like yesterday. So it's quiet in here. All right, awesome, guys. We're down to our last one already. Shake 'em. sometimes the faster they move through something, the better it is. You're just like, get this over with. That's how I feel about the bear crawls. Ugh. I think that's why. It's a movement that just takes so long, so it feels like you're doing double the work sometimes. I feel my quads coming out a little bit in those too, actually. Something's always sore. The joys of fitness. So if you're working these with me, we're just getting into that oblique area, those lower abs, those hard to get places. You're doing the same thing on the windmills. A little more shoulder stability though added. I just unfortunately would snap into on those. Someday when I'm all grown up. All right, kneeling hills and we're done. Nope, I missed my marches. JK. Come back to that. All right, now on our last movement here, guys. Perfect. And that is 4 rounds. I'd make my little cat sound timer, but that'd be weird, so we won't go there. If you're still finishing up, take your time, guys. I'll give it a couple minutes before I start talking about the next movement, and just like yesterday, I'm just gonna hit up some stretches. And if you're done with me, just go ahead and stretch for a minute. Let that breathing come down as well. Awesome. Let's go from behind. This stretch is helpful if you've got your PVC or a band. It can help tug those arms together a little bit better. And switch. Otherwise you gotta hike it up like that. Awesome. Let's get the front of the shoulders. That's where I'm feeling the burn. So we're going to come down like you were going to be doing a crab walk. Make sure your fingers are facing forward. And then all you're going to do is kind of squeeze your shoulder blades back and then scoot your butt to your heels. And you should feel a stretch through the front of the shoulder. At least I do. I know I'm a horrible example for mobility because I'm like, yeah, you should be feeling it everywhere. And most people are like, I don't feel anything. So if you don't, you can always kind of raise up into that crab position and that might intensify it for you a little bit, but I can just hang out right here. Perfect. And let's hit the wrist a little bit. So we're gonna come to all fours. Let's go palms up, Make fist. Let it go. Do it a couple more times for me. All right, and shake it out. Perfect. So this next piece, we're going to keep on the upper body, like I said, and we're going 5 rounds. Every rep is a little bit different, so just kind of keep on pace with me as best you can. I'm not sure. I think you guys can read that okay today. But at first, we've got 8 per side tall kneeling press. So tall kneeling press just means we're going to be on our knees. So if you'd like to grab like an ab mat or a towel or something just for a little added support, that's fine. But make sure you're coming from that good rack position every time, that 45-degree angle. Press, slack it up at top, okay? Watch that rib cage, make sure we're not overextending. Keep that rib cage tucked, and come back down to that good front rack position every time, not out here where your bell is going to feel about twice as heavy, okay? So that's 8 per side. Then we'll have 12 kettlebell swings. As always, make sure you get that back nice and tight. Bring that bell in close and squeeze the butt and get some good swings going. Next up, we have a kettlebell jerk. This is going to be 6 per side. We're going from that front rack position, okay? Just as if you were to do like a strict press, right? Then we've got push press, okay? Now we're going to jerk. So say after we get this push press, right, we dip, we drive, and we're like, oh crap, this thing is too heavy. You're going to re-dip, okay, and finish that bell up at the top. So dip, re-dip, and punch. That bell is going to continue to go up. What I see a lot of times is we do that first dip, and then we re-dip and let that bell come back down. Don't do that. Bell's going up. So like I said, just pretend when you get here it gets too heavy, so re-dip, and that's going to help punch it up. Next up is RDLs. We're just going to suitcase them per usual, and 10 per side, okay? Only going to where you can keep that back nice and flat. Feel a little bit of tension in the hamstrings, squeeze the glutes to stand you up. And lastly is a skull crusher. We're just going to stand it up here. You're going to come from behind the head and extend. Watch not to overextend the back, so again, be conscious, tuck those hips, tuck the rib cage down, and make sure everything's nice and stacked through your midline. Awesome, guys. Once again, this is not for time, and so I will count you down. Let me grab a sip of water here real quick. This pose right here needs to be like my cover page for these videos. Alright, let's go. 5 rounds. We're starting on the tall press, 8 per side. And let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Don't worry about rushing through this one either, guys. Let's just take our times. Again, making sure we're always staying stacked on these movements. Not getting sloppy in that rack position. Does anyone have some bruises from their kettlebells? I've got a couple. This is from last week. We had some snatches. Got some bruises going on. Alright, kettlebell swings. 12 swings, guys. Perfect. Onto that jerk with that double dip. So these dips don't need to be very big, guys. We want to keep them powerful. It's dip drive, right? Nice pop. And you're going to feel that bell pop right off your shoulder when you do that, versus letting yourself sink in a big dip. Also, when you come down, you're already going to be in that first dip if you absorb that weight. So use that momentum if you can and go right up into your next one. Perfect. Then we got RDLs. And this is 10 per side. So my background stems a lot from multiple sports, but I really got into powerlifting before I hit up the CrossFit side of things. And we did a cycle where we had like super heavy RDLs, and then we had to superset them with as many as you could body weight. And you never think that like body weight sounds all that terrible, but supersetting those was freaking awful. You know, like the first round you could get like, I don't know, 20 per side. And by like the third time through you'd get like 5. What is happening? Let's see here. Alright, then we got skull crushers. I'm gonna go. Woo! Again, make sure you're not extending that low back. Make sure you got yourself nice and stacked. That's not gonna work. And we got one down, guys. Got 4 more to go here. Take a little bit in between your rounds if you need. Hit up some dance moves. Shake your shoulders out. And start again. Don't forget to breathe, guys, throughout this, even though we're probably not going to be too out of breath on this one either. Make sure you're getting some good breath. It's always good in overhead positions. If you need to catch your breath, take it at the top, okay, and then keep your momentum going, because if you do it down here, likely you're going to crash with the weight on your chest. Right, so take it up top, and then keep rocking through things. 12 swings. not a good dip position. I always kind of aim for my second toe. So that kind of just puts those knees out, and right away when I do that, my glutes engage versus forward, like putting them inside your big toe. So aim for your second toe. That engages the glutes. You're still in a nice upright position, and you can pop. Pop, lock, and drop it. Or pop, lock, and punch it. Ugh, in our case. RDLs. If RDLs ever bother the knee, you can always just do kind of like a staggered stance, like a good morning type of thing. That works as well. I do tend to feel this on my knees a little bit, but that just means I kind of have to make sure I'm focusing on shifting that weight back, getting out of my toes, and squeezing that glute a little extra. So that's again kind of why some of these movements, you just gotta take a little more time with them. Not something that you necessarily need to rush through. They've got lots of points of performance and things you gotta think about while doing them. So with every round, you guys can kind of pick one cue at a time and just focus on one thing at a time and see if you can get that one thing better. And if it goes good, then you can move on to something else for the next round and just focus on one thing at a time here, guys. And by the end, you guys will all be pros at all this stuff. My poor little triceps, such tiny little muscles. They don't get isolated like this very much. When we can get back to some rings, I have a good tricep one for you guys. You do some ring fallouts, and you're on the rings and just kind of let yourself fall and back. Those are killer. Not that anything tricep is not killer. Like I said, they're just tiny little muscles. At least mine are. Maybe you guys got some jack triceps out there. And back to the top. Bodybuilders always kind of amaze me with that kind of stuff. Like, your tricep is bigger than my freaking quad. It's insane. guys thought of any celebrities you'd like to see their faces on the side of the mountain? That was the question of the day if you missed that. Who would you replace on Mount Rushmore? I had an athlete, a singer, an actor, and like a civil rights influencer. Snag some water again, guys. Keep rocking through your rounds at your own pace. I usually assume that you guys are zooming right past me, and that's cool. I'm coming. I'm right behind you. Ugh. I'm past my glory days already. I may look young, but I've been at this for a long time. My glory days are long gone of being the first in the pack. Ugh. Except for someone like, when Markham kicks my butt in a workout, oh man, that hurts the soul a little bit. I'm calling you out, Markham, if you're watching these. Everyone kind of has somebody that they compete with at the gym, I'm sure. Whether you say you are or not. Secretly you are. When you see them pick up the barbell, oh man, I better hang on. That's what makes it fun though, right? So if you're in your living room by yourself, just think, man, I wonder what Sally was doing today, or I don't know, just pretend somebody's next to you, picking up that barbell for another rep. You're chasing them down. Or, I guess in today's instance, you just want to look better than them. Your form is going to be impeccable. Style and grace points today, guys. That's what we're looking for. I'm doing too much talking, guys. I'm losing track of my numbers here. All right, that's another one down. What do we got? 2 more to go here, guys. Over half. Once again here, let's make sure we're stacked. Squeezing that butt, those rib cages are down. How are we feeling, guys? Feeling the burn in the shoulders? Keep fighting through it. You got it. That's actually where technique can come into play a lot too. People think, faster is better. But if you're faster and doing poor movement patterns, you're just going to fatigue yourself out more. So technique will always win the race as well, guys. So if you're, doing a perfect pull-up next to a guy that's like freaking flailing on the rig, eventually you'll catch up to him and he's going to wear out. Can relate that to the turtle in the hair, I suppose. Old lady Chelsea wisdom here. There must be something interesting out there. Oh, he's in there. Kobe's staying quiet today. Took him for a pretty long walk yesterday. Tired him out good. Oh, I said his name. Here he comes. Awesome, guys. We're nearing the end of round 4, and they've just got one more round to go. Had a nice long one today, guys. We're almost at the top of the hour here. So thanks for sticking with me. Sure we're maintaining that flat back yet. Staying out of our toes, squeezing that butt. Like how this is decreased every round. Ay, caramba. I'm good till about 10. And then those last 4 are brutal. All right, guys, we are on our last round. Let's go. Breaking it up just a little more here. My arms are burning. Makes it a little more manageable that way. It allows me to stay moving a little bit better. Otherwise, you can kind of stare at that bell for a little too long sometimes. I'm guilty of that for sure. Woo, this feels great. Almost there, guys. If you're in your last round with me, yeah, if you guys ever watch any of the like CrossFit events, if you take a look at the people that are winning the races, a lot of times they don't start off leading the pack, right? Like I said, they let everyone else tire out and they just stick to their game. Usually look flawless doing it. It's like they don't ever look tired. It's pretty cool to see. Almost there, guys. And skull crushers. I love workout movements that have cool names like that. Their name definitely fits, for sure. Oh, see these last 4. Ah! Whew! I made it. Awesome, guys. That was sweet. That's gonna be my new catchphrase. Sweet. Alright, let's, if you're still working, that's okay. to show you a stretch that I'm going to do real quick. You guys can catch up if need be. Otherwise, if you're there with me, let's bring it on down. So I'm going to get the top of the trap here in the neck, palm out. I'm just going to give a gentle little tug to the side. And then down. And roll it from side to side. And take it to the other side. So pull down like you're trying to get your ear to your shoulder here. And then eyes and chin down. And from side to side. Awesome. And then I would also recommend for you guys today to grab some sort of lacrosse ball, softball, golf ball, you name it. Take yourself against the wall and get in your shoulders wherever you feel needed the most, but I would definitely spend some time there today so that you guys can come back fresh for tomorrow's session. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining me and sticking it out for a whole hour today. That was a long one, but we got in some good work today, I think. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.